I think it's risky or yeah, it's kind of like falling. Anyways, good morning, guys. This is my second or third attempt trying this now. Last time I failed again miserably, but it's a new month. We bringing up again. It's the 2nd of August today, Monday. I mean, oh, 2nd of August, the 2nd of February. It's a Monday, so yeah, starting the month on a fresh note. Very fresh. Also, the books finally came that I've been waiting for, so I'm so excited to start. So excited. So as you guys can see, brightness off again. It's 5:35. I woke up like 20 past 5. Why did it take so long? I was cleaning my room and then also putting on the pants, brushing my teeth, and so on. And I'd love to now just start, but I said the church is passing today from 6 till 6, so I want to get something in before that. So yeah, yeah. I'm gonna start anytime now. Just gonna make my coffee and something to eat, or I'm gonna be back as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Put it on so. The guys are. It's got to work. You gotta be warming up first of all, doing scales, some.
and the most comfortable, especially if you're playing. These left-hand rootless voicings are great because they fill out the chord for you to do things with your right hand. So if you're playing the melody, if you're soloing with your right hand, these are the common chords that help you accompany yourself. And that's my favorite. So these are built up rootless, meaning that there are no roots in most of these chords, especially not at the bottom. We're going to leave that for the bass player. So we're just going to build these up to begin with, stacks of thirds starting on the third. So on a C major 9, we start on the third E, play the fifth G, the major 7th B, and that 9 D, natural 9. That's our C major 9 voice. Isn't that beautiful? So if we put a C at the bottom of this, that's all we need, and we can do anything we want with our right hand. Now, there is an alternative version of this. Just like we did with the 4-note rootless, anything that has the third on the bottom of the chord can also have the other part of the shell, the 7th, on the bottom of the chord. So check this out. Our C major 9 with the 7th on the bottom. You've got B, D, E, and G. So if you're a little bit higher up in the register, you need a little more punch, or maybe you're playing, you're playing an F chord, F major 9, playing a different chord, you can build it up from the 7th instead of the 3rd to sound great. For the minor 7th, it's the same principle. We build it up from the 3rd of the
Minor 7, it sounds so nice. That's real talk.
D minor 7, F, 5th, A, 7th, C, and the 3rd, or sorry, the 9 of D minor 9, E, E. We put a D in the bass. You don't need anything else. So the bass player will have that D covered. So we just want the important bits of the chord, that 3rd, that 5th, that 7th, that 9th. And then we get to the inversion of this. And this is the chord that my first jazz piano teacher showed me, that I was like, oh, I get it now. The 7th on the bottom, C, the 9, the 3rd, and that 5th on top. This is where the clouds parted for me. And I thought, like, okay, I don't need to do stacks of thirds. I don't always have to have the root on the bottom. And I have this beautiful crunch right here. And then when she played a D, I thought, oh, that sounds like Herbie Hancock. That's what I want to sound like. So that was my little moment for that chord. For the dominant seventh chord, same principle. We're going to start with the seventh on the bottom of this one just for range. So we've got that F, that minor seven. Then we're going to add the 9, A, the third, B, and the 13, E. This is, again, maybe the most common dominant seventh voicing for the left hand on a G7. Then we have the flip side of that. We've got, because this one we have the seventh on the bottom, we of course have the other part of the shell, the third on the bottom. 3, 13, 7, 9. This is probably a little high. Like I probably wouldn't play that on a G, but I would play that on a C7. 3, 13, minor 7, 9. Pick for that range. And then we could do the same thing, but with a flat 9, flat 13. Anytime there's a 9 or a 13 on a dominant, if we want to add a little more tension, we can flat those. So here's 7, flat 9, 3, flat 13. We do the exact same thing with that other voicing. 3, flat 13, 7, flat 9, B, E flat, F, A flat. Great voicings. Isn't that cool? For our diminished 7, stack of minor thirds. That's all we need. And again, you can always move any of these notes up a major second. I'm going to add a little tension, go to the extensions, but you don't have to. So E, G, B flat, and C sharp. That is our C sharp diminished. And then, of course, we have B flat, C. E, and G. And by the way, you can actually just build a stack of minor thirds from any note of this chord. So from C sharp, from E, from G, from B flat, they all sound like a diminished chord. It's symmetrical. It's just minor thirds that repeat over and over again. So it's kind of, it plays itself. For the minor sixth, the same principle. We're going to have the third on the bottom, and then we're going to add the fifth at major 6A, and the 9 D. This is called a C minor 6/9. And then if we have the third on the bottom, we could always add the other part of the shell on the bottom and do another inversion. So let's add the 6th, which is the other part of the shell on a C minor 6, right? Third and 6th. And the 9, the third E flat, and that 5G. 5G. And finally, for our half diminished, our minor 7 flat 5, we have the third on the bottom, that diminished fifth, A flat, the minor 7th C, and then just the root. And then because the third on the bottom of this one is that part of the shell, we can use the other part of the shell, the 7th C, the root D, the third F, and that diminished fifth, A flat. That's all we're going to need for these left hand voicings. Again, it will be the same structure that you've been doing this whole time. We're going to take it through major 2/5s, and minor 2/5s, and autumn leaves. Do not miss it. Thank you for this. I will see you over on the guided practice session. Cheers. Welcome back, everybody, to our first guided practice session for our rootless left-hand voicings. You know the drill by this point. It's going to be the same structure. We're going to work on our major 2-5-1s for this guided practice session. And then we're going to work on minor 2-5-1s in the next guided practice session. We're going to finish up with the guided practice session on autumn leaves. That's right. Autumn leaves using our left-hand voicings. Let's have a look at how these voicings translate to a cadence like a 2-5-1. There's going to be a theme that is recurring here. We look at our D minor 9, we have this beautiful stack of thirds, the third F of D minor, the fifth A, the seventh C, and that 9 E. By the way, I want you to notice one thing with this voicing in particular. If we took this A and we just moved it up an octave, does that sound familiar? That's the first 4-note voicing that we learned. That's just the open version of this, right? Same notes, just a different structure. Pretty cool, right? Just something to think about. Now, the theme here is that going from our D minor chord to our G dominant chord, we just changed one note. C down a half step to B. Everything else remains the same. The A is still there. Now it's the 9 of our G dominant chord, and the E is our 13. And then for our C major 9, our beautiful stack of thirds, starting on the same. The A or G dominant chord, we just change one note. That C moves down a half step to B. Everything else remains the same. The A is still there. Now it's the 9 of our G dominant chord, and the E is our 13. And then for our C major 9, our beautiful stack of thirds, starting on the third of C, E, G, B, and D. Let's try these. 1, 2, 1. Just hold on. Left hand open. Right. Do some Charleston rhythm. Yeah. About some reverse Charles. And short. Hold on. So we use these left-hand voicings so that we can do things with our right hand and comp for ourselves. So right now, let's do a little bit of free play. And if you want to try, play some things with your right hand, where the key of C, so it could be all white keys, but you could do something like play a little melody, see if you can do something in the C. Give it a shot. There's no pressure here, just have some fun. You got to stop. See if you can play the chord with your left hand and play something melodic with your right. Does not have to sound great, by the way. You just have to practice doing it. More times of that, 2 more times of that. We're going to go to our other inversion. All right, let's check out the B voicings. Again, only one note difference between the D minor and the G dominant. The B voicings. Again, only one note difference between the D minor and the G. All right, let's check out the B voicing. And only one note difference between the D minor and the G dominant. Four notes only to start. And if you're already ready, you can start with some melodic stuff. Two more times here. Try our new key of F. G minor 9 or C13. Let's try our new key of F. G minor 9 or C13 or F major 9. Notice the key signature, we got a B flat in there. Only one note difference between the G minor 9 and the C13. Flat D F A for the G minor 9, B flat D E F, and A C E G for the F. If you feel like improvising in the key of F, remember there's an E flat. Charles did a reverse Charles in the left hand if you like, or just keep with. More times here, two more times. Got our B voicing in the key of F. Go to. Check out our B voicing in the key of F. Go to. These are clutch. That they deliver. Start without the right hand, left hand only. Just get the voicing in your left hand. All notes. Play with me. It's reverse Charlie rhythm. Times, you got it. To our original key here, have some replay. I want you to work with left hand, right hand. I want you to work with different rhythms in your left hand. See if you can just a call and response between the hands if you're a little bit further advanced. You get 4 times here for free play. 4 times. So, all right, we talked all about guard then. Great first practice session for these left-hand voicings. That is all we have for today. Join us for our next session in which we're going to cover some minor 2-5-1s using these left-handed voicings. Until then, happy practicing. First one next here, 2 more times. Put your left hand and play something melodic with your right. E and G. And by the way, you can actually just build a stack of minor thirds from any note of this chord. So from C sharp, from E, from G, from B flat, they all sound like a diminished chord. It's symmetrical. It's just minor thirds that repeat over and over again. So it's kind of, it plays itself. For the minor 6, the same principle. We're going to have the 3rd in the bottom, and then we're going to add the 5th, major 6A, and the 9. D. This is called a C minor 6-9. And then if we have the 3rd on the bottom, we can always add the other part of the shell on the bottom to do another inversion. So let's add the 6th, which is the other part of the shell on C minor 6, right? 3rd, 6th. Now that's 3rd E flat, and that's 5G. 5G. And finally, for our half diminished or minor 7 flat 5, we have the 3rd on the bottom, then diminished 5th. Welcome back, everybody, to our first guided practice session for our rootless left-hand voicings. You know, that's not the Who on the bass. That's Caleb Kirby on the drums. Let's get right to it today because we've got a very cool session lined up for you. We're working on some rootless left-hand voicings in a minor key, and we're going to start with the key of C minor. Here we have our half diminished. Now, this looks an awful lot like an F minor 6 chord, doesn't it? F, A flat, C, and D. But notice we put the D in the bass. That is our half diminished chord. For our dominant chord, our G7, but notice we put the D in the bass, or D half diminished. Now, this looks an awful lot like an F minor 6 chord, doesn't it? F, A flat, C, and D. But notice we put the D in the bass. That is our half diminished chord. For our dominant chord, our G7, we're going to move. Thank you, Bob. Bob put a G in the bass there. We've got F, A flat, B, and E flat. Now, just like we did our 4-note voicings, there is some contrary motion. If we look at the top 2 notes, B and C, contrary way, one goes up and one goes down. And just like our voicings for the major 2-5-1, if we were to take this A flat, that second note from the bottom, and move it up an octave, well, this is the first voicing we had on our D minor 7 flat 5 on our D half diminished for our 4-note rootless voicings, right? So these are the same chords, just different structures. One is this 4-way closed structure on the left hand, and one is spread out over the octave and over 2 hands. Let's focus here on our left hand voicings. So here's our D half diminished, our G7 flat 13 flat 9, and then our C minor 6, we've got the third, E flat, the fifth, G, the natural 6 there, A, and then 9. Let's try it. 1, 2, 6, we've got the third, E flat, the fifth, G, the natural 6 there, A, and then 9. Let's try it. 1, 2, 1, 2, whole note, and. They're so pretty, aren't they? They're so pretty. The whole note's going, you got it. It's actually really bad. That's Charleston rhythm. Notice I'm laying back that second note a little bit. Coming right before the beat. experiment when you put that. You can do it even a little bit laid back. Whatever feels good to you. Somewhere in between, maybe. You got it. Sounds here. Onto a different on B voicing. That's what this looks like. Pretty high up here. It's right on the cusp of being too high, but we'll take it for now. And it's kind of hard to read, so I'll walk you through it here. So on the D half diminished, got C, D, F, and A flat. Got B, E flat, F, and A flat. And then A, D, E flat, and the D half diminished. We've got C, D, F, and A flat. And we've got B, E flat, F, and A flat. And then A, B, E flat, and then G for the C minor. So again, C, D, F, and A flat for the D half diminished. B, E flat, F, and A flat for the G7. D, E flat, and G for the C minor 6. Just take a minute here and play some. Sorry, hold on. Notice the bottom two notes of the first two chords had that contrary motion. Then a reverse Charleston to this. Reverse Charleston. Feel free to change up the rhythm. F minor, here we go. Like this. Go. That looks like this. On G half diminished, we've got B flat, F, and G. We've got B flat, E, and A flat. We've got A flat, C, D, and G for the F minor signal. In that contrary motion, now at the top of the voicing. For the top two notes. One goes up, one goes down. It's the contrary part. Almost in rhythm. Got it. One more times. Time for another inversion. The B voice is going to be a little bit more. Oh, in a good range. Going to be a little bit more. Oh, got that in a good range. F, G, B flat, and D flat. E, A flat, B flat, and D flat. Control G, A flat, C. Let's go back to our original key. C minor. Let's have some free play. You got it. Whatever you want to. Hold on. C minor. Let's have some free play. You got it. Whatever you want to. Charleston, I think. Games here, and we go to this beat voicing in the key of C, right? So I mentioned that this is on the cusp of being too fire. I just want to talk about this. And this is with left-hand voicings specifically, because they're so crunchy and close together that I usually don't go, just naturally, I usually don't go to where the lowest note is above middle C. So this is why I said it's on the cusp. Here, the lowest note is right at middle C. So I wouldn't really do this in the key of D minor, where the lowest note is starts on this D. It's a little too high just to have like enough space to actually play in sort of the alto soprano range for my right hand. You want to give your right hand enough space that it gets some of these meaty things here. And generally, I won't go below the D here, which is what is that? D3. So the D below middle C. So you won't see any of these left-hand voicings go. I think I had an F minor 6. The D was here, but I don't think I would play like E flat minor 6, just a whole step down. This is a really nice Steinway, so it sounds pretty good. But on most pianos, especially electronic keyboards, it's going to be a bit too muddy. Unless you really love muddy, in which case that's great. But like Bob, can you play E flat, please? Sounds okay, but it's a bit crunchy. If we go down another whole step up, can you play a D flat? Can't even really tell what chord it is because it's too crunchy down low, you know. So we're trying to find a sweet spot for that. So again, the lowest note of the chord voicing, I usually, this is just a guideline, not a rule, but usually is not below this D or above that C. Okay, that's it for now. We'll be back with Autumn Leaves next time. Until then, happy practicing.
It's now time to read, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna read for half an hour. And I'm just gonna go going over this book that I read. Before I move on, I wanna just go through this book, take some notes, and then go through some past things that I also read. So yeah, and I'll probably move on to the next book tomorrow or so. Yeah, see what Goldie is doing. Gold is down 4%, and it was down 9% on Friday. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyways. It's the opposite of that. It forces you to work because you have to make money to repay the debt. 100%, bro. 100%. Says, why should I get out of debt? My goal is financial freedom. It is the opposite of that because it forces you to do work because you have to make money to repay the debt. So, no financial freedom. So, why would I want to be in debt? Eat that, eat that, eat that, eat that. So that's already been able to take a few years off the end. Really important critical figure where you might want to try to start a business more than anything else. Money means you get experience. You get things done. That 5 hours of sleep can keep on doing this to myself. Like, cook as I'm sitting here. And I really can't waste. What we care about is being able to make decisions without money being the limited factor, the limiting factor. Meaning, what we care about is to, yeah, make money without, make decisions like want to quit my job or go on vacation, just take off and ride for the next month or so, or just do whatever without money being the limited factor. So without thinking, oh, but the money's gonna affect me this one, so I don't have enough money for this, or such things. Oh, I need to bulk chat. Chat, we need to bulk. Hey, again, my stomach is messing with me, so I'm gonna read for the next 20 minutes in the bathroom or on the toilet, and then, yeah, I'll just make notes of what I think is important. I shall be back. I shall be back. But behind schedule now, 15 minutes. Yeah, look like I ended up reading for 45 minutes. So I'm gonna put the book down and then start the trading. A bunch of things I walked down, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get into the trading, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I love reading about finance. For me, it's about money actually. It's so refreshing because we get to learn stuff that we've never been taught. Like, no one tells you how to deal with your money or how you should invest, how you should save, why you should even save, and all these things, how to think about money. So I'm glad I'm figuring it out now. But yo, ladies and gentlemen, we shows in the market right now. What's happening with gold? Just Friday it was down 9%. The day before it was down like 4%, 5%. And look now. Can we focus chat? Can we focus chat? I really want to show you. Can't really see, but it's down 7%, which is insane. It's actually insane. Oh, damn. Damn, Goldie. See how much pips it's down for the day. Oh, are you insane? Gold is down 3,000 pips in one day. And the day is only like 7 hours in. 6 hours, 7 hours. Damn. 3,000 pips is not a joke. Wallahi. Wallahi. Damn. She my screen. I could have actually done it long time. Let's look at what can happen with this little gold over here. Let's look what can happen with this little gold. Put on some lo-fi. Let me just relax. I have about the next 40 minutes. And then I do a shower me and get ready for work. Lo-fi camera. They're still young and it's still early, so I'm wondering what can be done here. Hmm. I just feel like gold is we're on a heavy retracement. So there's the last area of proper support where gold started this upside, this move to the upside. So my current thesis is that we're either gonna come back to here, see an area here as well. I should see how gold reacts around that level. Hey. But no, I think we're breaking this when we're coming down till the 4280 or at least 4300 because it's a round cycle of logical level. So we'll leave it there. Yeah, I think gold is coming down to here and then we'll see what happens after that. If we decide to bounce from here, I'm gonna make a slow move to the upside, but if we break lower, I think we're going down. Let's just see quickly. Pull out our focus from here. And below. As we pass down into the seat as well. 100% is way down there. Those- The focus is violated. And I think before we do anything here, we have to understand the move and understand why this is happening. So first thing I would do is go to ChatGPT. That's the big W of AI. You can just use it for yeah. If you don't understand certain things, you just use it. If I go to people in trash music, I can't lie. Okay. For the past, I'm also thinking of getting ChatGPT Pro. I think it will help me a lot. So I'm trying to budget that into my expenses. Yeah, it's gonna help. Because my trading, my keyboard, the play reading, like all the things I do are shit as a input. Place. Oh, so, latest comprehensive picture what's driving a principal sell of the past few days. It's not normal. This was not normal price action, but it is explainable by market mechanics, positioning dynamics, rather than some global major collapse. Well, the period one of its largest day declines in decades, and it took 16% of session after record highs. Exactly. So it's even worse. So one of the steepest short-term drops in historical in metal. She was there because actually unusual for such a. Let me see silver. Because yeah, I didn't really that didn't really I never looked at silvers. So but this silver I think is X I G is it? XAG used. This is silver, right? Let me see how much was 70 silver. Gold, even in silver though. H silver quickly. Oh, silver is on 9%. So I think but look at this small move compared to gold though. It's about 1,200 pips. Gold down only 6%, but it's like 30,000 pips. See. Okay. Oh, the sell was pretty good. I'm gonna get to this macro. See, good outlook and dollar. The nomination of Kevin Walsh as the next Fed chief with Trump acted as a catalyst thus interpreted by markets as potentially less prolonged weakness or tighter policy than expected. Changed expectation on interest rates and remunerated US dollar, which pushed down the dollar strengthens and yield rise, just increases to okay, so just with reading in this first part, obviously assuming that it has to do with, like I say, the next Fed chair. Yeah, obviously that's looking bullish for the dollar, and the dollar rises and interest rates, um, and the dollar is better, and then yeah, it pushes and makes gold less attractive, and people decide they want to put their money into the dollar rather than gold, and then yeah, gold sees sells. Generics on post-sale the CME Group raised margin requirements on gold and silver futures, forcing traders to add cash liquidate. This structure increased selling pressure. This is interesting because I don't really understand this. I'm not sure what the CME Group is. And when they say talking about the raised margin requirements on gold and silver futures, forcing traders. So by the traders, the cash are they referring to retailers or hedge funds, investment banks? Tell me about that. See, for me, it's important to understand what you're reading instead of just reading. Ooh, uh, look, CME Group is an exchange operator. I should be writing these things down, but for me, it's like now that I'm not trading at the moment, I'm just using this for research purposes, and then I'll probably end up searching again or doing this again once I am in the markets and actually trading. So now I'm just reading through it. The CME Group is an exchange operator, markets referee. Okay. It group owns and ran the world's biggest exchange, futures exchanges, including comics, like gold, silver, copper, futures. Generation. Literal code features implemented comics, which is organization local credit, comics job, much water, etc. Managers. So I'm going for contract. Stronger skill, 5 more than. But that's the margin requirements. It's not later on. Huge fund. Huge funds from this. Private trading advisors, CPAs. Genuinely all I hope, and I'm saying this on this live, because I genuinely hope so, really. And that is that gold doesn't start trending upwards again before I can get capital in, because you want to catch this next upside move. I'm assuming we're gonna put it, guys, and go to 5.9. So that's what I think JP Morgan also speculated. That's where they wanted the price to go for 2026 to 5,900. It's basically aligned with this scope. Not basically, it's quite a distance off, but yeah, if we can maybe even come down, come. I just want to be in before the restructuration because it's gonna be again a lot of pips that's gonna be made. Like even in this past 3 days, it's over 10,000 pips. We had a point one, we would have made 20K, which is insane. If I had a point 10 on, which I had it already multiple times, but I just hit it on this moves and held it would have been like 200K. It's life changing money right there. Just all time record crashes before the crash, before the crash. Revenue speculative and saving after Saturday, still get locking profits. If they go stop selling futures, but it doesn't. And this is dynamic. Dynamics options. According to market structure discussion, position delaying. Structure of triangle. Decision deployment correlation. Often from this integrated kind of again shows a difference between market psychology as positioning versus fundamentals. Shortened drivers, technical liquidation cascades, forced deleveraging, Okay, risk repricing related to policy expectation. Source not lost. Hoje na caminhos virileghi. I always get confused like that looking scanner. It's virileghi. So that's funny or different. So yeah, I'm looking for get into start building again in like 4 weeks time. So I have to save in the meantime to buy me a fund account and also fund my personal account. Stops. Sometimes I feel like ChatGPT is like a bit too easy for me, man. cringy, but like, yeah, what is nah, cringy is not so word. What would you use? Anyways, gold, good luck, Will. We'll see you again. Then you to get in. Percentage of is oh, it's at 10% on gold. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, FX replay, we have like 15 minutes. Still busy with our funded account. It's just want to close. Oh, why is it taking so long, bro? Further than that, don't care about the indices, bro. Like that's real talk, though, Brody. Brody. So I also read best loser wins again. That really helped me trading. Just on the whole, like, if you wanna win, you need to be good at losing. Like, that's trading is literally about losing and how you can handle it. So, like, yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's just good to see you. As you guys can see, it's quite slow at the moment. But yeah, let's take all this away. Forgot what our bias was. Not our bias, like ideas in our planet. Assuming obviously for the 27.6 maybe a retracement from there. But didn't manage. It's so good. Okay, so we are now at the ninth gen. If I'm correct, I think I failed my account about around about somewhere the ninth or so. On 8%, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Make that 10, make that 10, make it 10, make it 10. Okay. You're on the ninth. Do I have any trades on the ninth? I actually failed my account on the ninth. So the 8th. Wow. So that's all the trades that took on my final account basically. Moet is hem altijd aan het trades. First one was here. It's the 5th. What time is this? What the past 7. I to work when it's so slow. So my first trade was here. I really think I should keep my stop loss below this. Then it would have worked out. In the slug. The reaction of the 61. We should operate this lows. Stop loss here on 100 pips. Maybe 100%. Would have gained 300 pips. That would have been a beautiful one. And then, yeah. Then my stop loss was like, yo. Instead, my stop loss was like, yeah, so I lost that trade. Basically, I'd break even because I moved it somewhere there. Next trade was a sell at this level. That level stop loss. Let's see here. So I wanted gold to come to this level, so yeah, that's where I was at. It was like a 200 pip win. Instead, I was just up 100 pips and then it reversed. That was what I was looking for there. Let's just put it in perspective quickly. We all gonna have a 50. I just like take all the stuff off at once. Wow, didn't I see this once again? Thing is, this is one fob, okay? This is one fob. And the other fob could be from me actually, yeah. And we look at this, ladies and gentlemen. How don't I see this? I hate myself for this. I could have still had a fan account. I could have maybe paused it even. See you from the hello. Hi. What do we have here? Area support. You know what some people call this the order block or whatever I just call it support. Perfect with the 78.6. Literally perfect. Literally perfect. Oh, perfect. It actually see if I could have done something. Yeah. Okay, so I understand how it is from a higher time frame perspective. Sharon Moore. The only thing to get in would have been somehow on the 1 month. Only potential interest here is that I think that's the best trade. This will not be the first soldier. And yeah, stuck across there. Big impulsive, doji, another impulsive candle shows that the bias is in and they're pushing, they want it. Okay, and we could have made, first stop loss at 27% and first take profit. 460 pips. That should have been a beautiful trade. Like, hello, beauty. To the 61.8, another retracement, and then the 100% finally. So again, I was looking my main. I still journaled it in my Discord server. The main thesis was not looking at this area, okay, and ignoring it. I was looking at the support here at 100% and it's 4388 instead of. Oh wow, this is psychological level also 4400. Should have took note of these things, man. This loss could have been avoided and I could have catch a win instead. Or even move to a break even because now that's one thing that I'm going to do. Move to break even like earlier because I was up here. Something like that. Just the main trade. That's a piece yesterday were like 1 to 3, 200 pips and we were risking something like this. And yeah, I just moved stop plus to break even. I would have been rejected because as we can see here, it's like just perfect of the 78.6. Instead of looking for this, I should have skipped it, yeah. But we can only learn, live and learn. So now I know But not I know it's a new long term, but I need to be more vigilant and especially in counter trading. I need to move stop loss to break even much earlier. As you can see, this aligns perfectly, so I should not be losing a trade like this. Should get in here and ride the wave. But anyways, guys, we're going to 4,500. That's yeah. Yeah, I'll be continuing this probably tomorrow or no later. But I will be doing it on stream later. So, oh, 9%. I'll just be doing it by myself later. Later. Serie A was still in bed. Can start my day. Took a shower and into this. So, guys.